initiative joy, and equanimity. So these are the 4 sublime states. Okay. The QR code is actually the code to all the PowerPoint slides. So if you don't want to take down notes, then you scan this one. Okay. Nobody scan. Okay. Right. So we are going to talk about a bit of marketing first. For those who are new, why practice loving kindness? There are 11 benefits. 11 benefits. That means if you practice loving kindness, you get certain benefits. So these first 3 has to do with sleeping. Anybody here got sleeping problem? Okay, then do more loving kindness. Then you see the result. So by the end of the course, then you check whether your sleep get better or not. So the first 3, you sleep happily, wake happily. So it's got to do with continuation of your, we said, habitual karma. So if you continuously, let's say in your wakeful moment, keep on generate loving kindness, then becomes like your kind of your personality. So when you wake up, then you also have loving kindness. If let's say your whole day grumpy, then you forever grumpy like that. So you slowly change. So this is one of the so-called effects. And the third one, no bad dreams, no evil dreams, no nightmare, no unwholesome dream. So the same thing, whatever you have right now will be more or less kind of like in the dream also. If you talk about stray thoughts. So let's say in your now average state of mind, if let's say you just do nothing and just observe your thoughts. So thoughts confirm, you come out lots of movie and drama show and whatever. So that is actually like the summary of the things you do. So same with before death moment, before you sleep, it's the trajectory of all the things, the karmic forces. So these things change every moment actually. It's not like, okay, just wait until the last moment, then do something good. No, every day must maintain, improve, maintain, improve. Then hopefully, then when your average state of mind, when you do nothing is wholesome, then okay, then you can kind of, at least at that point, is quite safe. Then you need to maintain, continue to do more good deeds. So this is the sleeping part. And the next 3 has to do with interpersonal relationships. Interpersonal relationships. So the first one is mentioned here. Dear to human beings. That means you'll be more approachable to people. That means people find you more approachable. So I always give this example. If you go to a strange place, let's say you want to find directions, there may be no reception, you cannot use Google Maps or whatever. Then you see 2 strangers along the walk path. Stranger A at least put on a decent smiling face. Then stranger B put on a long face. Who would you approach and ask for direction? Who go for stranger B one? Only one person. Okay, so majority will be stranger A, right? Yeah, so if a person has looks friendly, you'll be more approachable. So this is one of the benefits of metta. So if let's say you're doing, customer service, you want to have more friends or more customers, that metta might be one of the key ingredient for your so-called social kind of success. So that's for the loving kindness part. And same applies to non-humans. Non-humans. So not just animals, but also unseen beings. Unseen beings. So that's more the supernatural stuff. So please don't follow the diagram here. Say, oh, I got loving kindness, then approach the wild animal, try to hug the wild animal. Don't do that. Don't do that. This is just for illustration purposes. But if a person's mind is more peaceful, the tendency of being attacked compared to a person who is more agitated would be lesser. Not say totally immune. So please do not try this. Just for illustration. Okay, then the next one, deities will protect you. So if a person is wholesome, they generate loving kindness. Their net karma is positive. They're more wholesome. Then we say the birds of the same feather flock together. So if you're wholesome, they attract wholesome beings. If you're unwholesome, then all the demons come to you. So that's the so-called unseen being part. So the function of these heavenly beings will be more or less like your guardian protector. Guardian protector. Then you might be thinking, why would heavenly being want to come and protect you for what? Because in heaven, no chance to do charity. Where you got hunger up there, where you got homeless people. So there's nothing to do. Then if let's say they want to invest in something for their future, then they come down to earth. They look at which is the potential investment. So if you are a spiritual practitioner, then good for you. Then they come to you, become your bouncer or whatever. So all these are the heavenly being. Okay, then the next 5 benefits. You see one interesting statement here. Neither fire, poison, nor weapon can touch you. So again, this is the literal translation from one of the benefits. And of course, please do not literally try it. Say, I practice loving kindness, then you drink poison, then gone. Okay, so what does this statement mean? Does it mean that a person practicing loving kindness will be like physically immune to damage and injury? So I always use the Buddha as a case study. Buddha as case study. I give a few examples. How many of you know how the Buddha passed away? Yeah. Okay, so food poisoning. But then you mentioned here, loving kindness won't get poisoned. Then how come Buddha got kena poison? That means something is wrong. Yes, you have something? No, okay. Then another case study would be, before the Buddha passed on, he had an encounter with this very evil monk, this venerable Devadatta. So this monk tried to assassinate the Buddha. So when the Buddha is like walking at the valley, this monk is on top of the cliff, trying to push a large boulder, trying to crush the Buddha. So this big boulder roll down the hill. Then fortunately or unfortunately, the Buddha also got guardian devas, guardian deities. So they break the rock, they break the boulder to many small pieces. Then they never do a good job. So one of the boulder managed to hit the Buddha's feet. Then the Buddha's feet bleeding. So the Buddha injured, Buddha bleeding, so he can get injured. So that means this doesn't apply. Okay, so anyway, Buddha got injured from a rock, got bleeding. So if the Buddha got injured from weapon, from all these things, so how do we interpret this statement? That means even though a person is physically can get harmed, but mentally they are stable. Mentally they are, this, if the mind is boundless, you kind of cushion the crisis. So this is how we interpret the statement. Do not take it literally. Go and try out. And some people go into this. They get a lot of amulet. So sometimes they wear amulet. He wear a lot. So sometimes they, especially if they over commercialize, then they will tell you, oh, this amulet can protect you from bullet. So he wear like bulletproof vest already. So of course can protect him from bullet. So anyway, there's a story from the Ajahn Chah's side. I'm not sure whether you heard before. Long Po Cha, the late Venerable Ajahn Chah. he has a soldier, a devotee, came to his temple and then asked this Long Pucha, Long Po, do you have amulet that can protect me from bullets or not? This is a soldier, so sometimes, Thailand is not like Singapore. They really always have fighting at the border. And so he want to be protected from bullets. Then this Ajahn Chah said, no, no such thing. He doesn't have such thing. Then this soldier asked again, Long Po, Venerable Sir, I know you're very famous forest monk. Please, sure you have something, something to give me. Then Ajahn Chah said again, no, I don't have no such thing. Then for the third time, he keep begging, Long Po, I come to your temple and give you food. Please, give me something. So after being pestered so many times, this Ajahn Chah said, okay. You want Buddha image to protect you, right? Can you go to our storeroom, walk down this pathway to the storeroom, you open the door, you see one large Buddha statue. If you hide behind the statue, confirm blocked from bullet one. Confirm, you just hide behind. So that is his answer. So very practical. So anyway, so the more orthodox Buddhism won't believe in such thing, but if you talk about spiritism and all those, how accurate, I don't know. Okay, then the next one, quick mental concentration. Quick mental concentration. So loving kindness can actually help you enter stillness, enter concentration quicker. It kind of softens the mind because one of our craving is anger, greed and anger. So loving kindness kind of like deal with the 50%. So once the mind reduces this craving, it's easier to enter concentration. If not, a person always a lot of anger, then you see some people meditate. Wow, like you see the face like cake side, like that, so angry. Then want to control, so frustrated. So you need loving kindness to soften the mind. So there are many different meditation objects. So like in the past, I like to kind of teach breath meditation. But then breath meditation, I see a lot of people, a lot of problem. So we use 4 sublime states first. It's much easier to transit. Okay, so that's for the concentration part. Then the next one, beautify one's facial expression. So if you do loving kindness, you look better. You look better. Then probably you save more money from all the beauty products. So no matter how much beauty product you put, if you put on a frowning face, it's a frowning face. So that's the fact. So you improve your facial expression. Okay, then the next one, peaceful death. So same with sleep. So if a person last moment, they mindful of loving kindness, then the mind wholesome, then also last moment will be wholesome. So, but of course, we cannot know how we are going to pass away. May or may not be a peaceful death. So it kind of combine with this. So if let's say any crisis or emergency or accident or whatever, the ER may not be a peaceful environment. So if a person's mind can be stable and have concentration, then guarantee the last moment also peaceful. Okay, then the last benefit would be if a person have not have any breakthrough, any insight, any breakthrough, that means they didn't reach enlightenment or haven't reached stream entry, then guarantee, confirm, at least born in the Brahma world. Brahma world. So the Brahma world is actually a state of mind or a realm that has a very long lifespan. So the lowest of the Brahma world, if let's say a person enter the first level of concentration, the first jhana or with loving kindness, they can live for 1 eon, 1 eon, 1 universe cycle. So that is how long is this Brahma's lifespan. Do you know how long is one eon? The Buddha gave an example. He said, imagine a very large mountain, maybe like Mount Everest, that kind of mountain, very hard, made of very hard rock. Every 100 years, a person were to pass by, take a silk cloth and just rub one time, then walk away. Then 100 years come again, take the silk cloth, rub one time and walk away. So by the time this entire mountain wear away, still not yet one eon. So that is how long is one eon. So a person can be in heaven or steam, very long. So if a person have no insight or wisdom, they use up all the good karma, then they come back down. So if they use up the good karma, so what's left behind is all the bad karma. So they go back down, can be even lower than the human realm even. So we encourage people to do some contemplation, have some insight. So at least if they are reborn as a Brahma, they still reflect on impermanence. Then they have this urgency to practice. Urgency to practice. Okay. Okay, so if a person were to practice the four sublime states, loving kindness, compassion, appreciative joy, equanimity, can reach either realization or non-returner. That means either a full enlightenment, the fourth stage of awakening, or if not, you become a non-returner, third stage of awakening. Yeah, so earlier on we talked about penetrating no higher. So what is the highest? Highest would be this enlightenment law. Of course, there are some people in Theravada tradition, especially those with subscribe to certain post-canonical ideal. They will say, loving kindness cannot reach enlightenment one. I do not know where this idea come from, but because of this, maybe this kind of misinformation, then you see very few or not so many Theravada practitioners want to practice loving kindness and compassion. They think it's like second-class kind of meditation like that. Then they do breath law, then all either they kick sigh or they fall asleep. So a lot of problems. So you see this maybe more in maybe the Mahayana Buddhism. Talk about 慈悲, loving kindness, compassion. So it's a very important meditation subject, directly counter anger, aversion. Okay, so far any issues? If not, very dry. Okay. So I'm going to talk about a story about Kuan Yin. How many of you seen the 1,000-arm version of Kuan Yin before? How many of you know the origin story? Don't know. You know origin story of 1,000-arm Kuan Yin? Okay, well, yeah. So I'm going to share this story, even though it's not in Theravada Buddhism, but I like the moral of the story. And this will be used to talk about the next slide. Okay, so this story is about this Kuan Yin. Before this Kuan Yin got these 1,000 arms. So Kuan Yin is actually a being in Pure Land. Kuan Yin is a disciple of Amitabha Buddha. And of course, Kuan Yin, his forte, his specialty is compassion. So one day when he practiced, he managed to look into the hell realm, hell realm. Then he saw, wow, so many beings born in the hell realm. So he feel very compassionate for them. So he tried to save those beings in the hell realm. So he did something, I don't know what he do. Maybe he dedicate marriage or radiate compassion, whatever it is. And he managed to save some beings. So he made a vow. He said, if he cannot save all the beings in hell, then he won't reach Buddhahood. So like trying to steal the job of another bodhisattva. So anyway, so that was his vow. And he made a stipulation to like encourage him to continue this vow. So if he ever regret this vow, may he split or shatter into 1,000 pieces. So that is some of the terms and conditions he added in. So every day he practiced, like he practiced, then he checked the hell realm, he saved the beings there. Then as the days go by, or the months or whatever go by, then he keep checking, he do a head count. And he say, hey, how come the beings in hell get more and more? He thought he saved quite a lot already. Then he checked, hey, get more and more, like never ending. Then he start to worry already. Oh, then like that, forever cannot become Buddha already. He cannot fulfill the goal. Then because of this regret, then he pizza lah. He become shattered to 1,000 pieces. Then his teacher, this Amitabha, know about it. Then quickly come and patch him up. So the new form is the 1,000-arm Kuan Yin. 1,000-arm Kuan Yin. Okay, so the moral of the story is, whatever you do or you try to help people, if you have strings attached, and if things don't go your way, then your heart also pizza into 1,000 pieces. So that's the moral of the story. So it's very applicable. So it's in line with the Four Noble Truths, not getting what you want is suffering. So this is the story. So that brings to the next point. In order to practice the four sublime states correctly, we have to understand how to practice the sublime states without expectation, without biasness, without certain selfish agenda. So if you look at this table here, okay, the middle column will be the sublime states. So ideally, this is the middle path. So if a person practices correctly, shouldn't have any problem. So it's meant to overcome this column. So this is the aversion, one extreme. So loving kindness overcome anger, compassion overcome cruelty, appreciative joy overcome jealousy, equanimity is to overcome restlessness. So this is a direct antidote for these unwholesome states of mind. So it's the antidote to the poisons. But if a person practices wrongly, sometimes some people may claim, I practice this for many, many years, but no improvement or no concentration, no nothing, or the mind like the same, or get back to worse. Then they might be practicing this. So it would be like the contaminated version of loving kindness, contaminated version of compassion. So this column here, so if this column is the extreme of anger, then this column will be greed. So it has some greed and attachment to these emotional states. So we call this personal affection, passionate grief, exhilaration, callousness. So these are the four, we call it indirect enemies. So let's go through one by one. So now it might sound like confusing and doesn't make sense to you. So I give a few examples along the way. For example, loving kindness. So the, let's say the altruistic kind of intention, or at least in the sutta, is to wish all beings well and happy. So this is the original kind of practice of loving kindness. And it's to overcome anger. So anger is to, you want to destroy. You feel hatred. So that's the opposite. And if a person, let's say, practice not so correctly, we call this personal affection. Personal affection. So example would be like the people that you love, the people that you like. So nothing wrong with loving your close one, but if a person were to just think of the close ones, it will just classify as personal affection. So now I would say the post-canonical method is to wish yourself, then wish your close ones, then wish neutral party, then wish the enemies, for example. So if a person were to just stuck at the stage of wishing your close ones, then it will be just personal affection. So we're going to now do a short experiment. Or before we do the experiment, I'm going to ask a question. How many of you go to Buddhist temple before, Pai Pai, then, or any temple, Taoist temple, Buddhist temple, then Pai Pai, then wish yourself or your family, peaceful, success, and all those. And yeah, majority, right? Yeah, okay. So we're going to do something similar in this experiment. So now we are going to just wish yourself and your close ones well, well and happy, or wish your close ones good health and whatever. Then observe this emotion. Okay? Who have no emotion? Or emotionless. You must really wish lah, wish your family and close one equanimity with you. Okay lah. Okay, so remember, so you can tell there's this emotion, right? Okay, so now we're going to switch to wishing all beings well and happy. And then you observe this emotion. Okay? Who can spot the difference? It's a different emotion, different feel. Mm, okay. Okay. Yeah, so it's a different feel. Who totally cannot differentiate? Okay, so at least you all can differentiate, tell apart. Okay, so if we want to practice sublime states, if you want to really have like the 11 benefits or have some result, it's like you want to have peace of mind or some concentration, you need to do this one, the middle way loving kindness. Some people, they just focus on this, then they do for hours and hours and nothing because it's a personal affection. Yeah, so you need to be very clear on this. If not, then you'll be like, won't help yourself. Okay, so I'm not saying you cannot love your your close one. Yes, you still can you need to maintain your certain relations. You need to have affection to your family and whatever. Yes, please do. Yeah. So in life, we need to have certain social function, but we don't go to the extremes. We don't go to the extremes. For example, loving kindness doesn't mean you need to hug everybody. Doesn't mean you need to hug everybody. You see, let's say some like gangster in a corner smoking and scolding vulgarity. You don't go and suddenly approach and hug them. You get into trouble. Yeah, so certain people, sometimes you need to stay a distance away. Yeah, then of course, certain people you need to hug. Of course, you don't hug everybody. Let's say your own family members, your own children. Yes, you hug them, right? But you don't go and hug every stranger and kiss them and that kind of thing. So certain displays of affection reserved for certain people. Reserved for certain people. So we need to draw a line. So in social settings, conventional settings, yes, we need this to a certain extent, but not to cross the line to aversion. So yes, you can have a certain, I would say, dislikes or certain unpleasant opinion, but you don't have to cling to it and cause aversion. So that's why we have this practice, middle ways, to anchor and recharge the mind. So in social setting, you need to have all these. I won't say go to this corner, but to the brim, to the brim, but we maintain within this spectrum. Maintain the spectrum and live out your life, and then we anchor and recharge the mind with the middle way version. Okay, so I give more example. So next one is compassion. Compassion is to wish may all beings be free from suffering. So it's to overcome cruelty. Cruelty is you want beings to suffer. You want beings to suffer. So compassion is the opposite. And how do you know you practice wrongly? So a person, let's say any, I don't know, essential workers, maybe frontline workers, counselors, caretakers. No, nobody. Okay. So if a person were to help some other people, their job is to help people. They keep helping and helping. Then they keep on receiving a lot of cases. Then they keep telling the story, how much suffering they have, how much problem and issue they have. And if they do not know how to take care of their mind, they have so much empathy for them. They feel and feel. They do not know how to pull back. So sometimes some people may get into depression and burnout. Depression and burnout. So that is like going out to the extreme already. So depression and burnout. So there's no mechanism for them to like recharge the mind, pull back the mind. So practicing compassion, nothing wrong. But if a person practice until got burnout, that means something is wrong already. We call this passionate grief. Like for example, somebody's a total stranger, they are maybe some family member passed away. Then they themselves, like you never see them crying. You go there, you cry louder than them. Then this is one maybe extreme already. So this is one example of passionate grief. So if a person practice compassion, I will use the case study of Buddha also. Buddha or Kuan Yin, they epitomize compassion. Do you ever heard of Buddha or Kuan Yin practice compassion until got depression one? No, right? So if they practice compassion until depression, that means something is wrong. Something is wrong with the compassion. So the middle way compassion shouldn't lead to depression. It should recharge the mind. So in daily function, yes, when you talk to people, you want to empathize, we call it social skills. Yes, you might go to the parameter towards passionate grief, but not to passionate grief. You may display a concern. Yes, emotionally, you might feel something, sadness and all. That's fine. But if you do not have true compassion, then you just get into sadness all the way, sadness and depression. So hopefully this is clearer. Okay, then the next example would be appreciative joy, or we call it rejoicing. Rejoicing. So that is to rejoice in the accomplishments of all beings. So I mentioned all beings here. And it's to overcome jealousy. Overcome jealousy. So jealousy is somebody achieves something, then you not happy. Then exhilaration would be the opposite or the contaminated version of appreciative joy. So things would be like your own people that you support, the team that you support. How many of you, let's say, watch Olympic Games then? A few people. Okay, or maybe sometimes you might see some people watching soccer in a coffee shop. If their team score a goal, then they will cheer, right? They shout, they cheer and happy. But if the other team score a goal, will they cheer the same thing? So can you call this appreciative joy? If it's appreciative joy, then it should be the same, right? You should rejoice equally. But no, so if you cheer loudly for the team that you like, or the people that you like, or your own company, or your own whatever group, then we call this exhilaration. Exhilaration. That means there's certain biasness, there's certain strings attached. Then we call this exhilaration. So the same thing in social convention, let's say you are sponsored to go and I don't know cheer your team. Yeah, you need to show support to your team lah. So you need to display certain thing. Um, so in social conventions, sometimes yes, you need to congratulate your friends or your family members that do well. Maybe they pass the exam or whatever it is. Then you need to congratulate them. Yeah. So in social setting, you might need to have certain a bit of spectrum of this, but not to the extent you go too far out. No, then you party until you get get out of control. Yeah. So you need to have certain anchor, appreciative joy. So hopefully by this point, you give you a clearer view of these differences. Okay, then the last one, equanimity. Equanimity means to be not shaken by the vicissitudes of life, or we call it the eight winds. Anybody know or do not know what the eight winds? Okay, Pa Fong, eight winds, that means all of us will face these ups and downs. So the first pair would be praise and blame. People praise you, people blame you. Then the next one, fame and defame, whether you're popular, unpopular. Then the third one, gain and loss. Then the fourth one, pleasure and pain. Pleasure and pain. So obviously, if a person sit too long, certain painful feeling, then you get affected, right? So we call this being affected by the eight winds. So if a person is equanimous, then these eight things won't affect you, won't shake you at all. So if a person is easily shaken around or blown around by the eight winds, then we call this restless mind. A mind always run here, run there, like restless mind. Get affected by thoughts, you worry about this, worry about that, and also get pushed around easily. Then if a person so-called practice wrongly, they may think they have equanimity, but actually it's called callousness. Callousness, the more Singlish term will be bo chap. Bo chap. So that's not the real equanimity. That means you're ignoring the problem. That means you don't have contact with the problem. So the common cases would be like people come for maybe meditation class or retreat setting, maybe for many days, out from their normal schedule. So they don't have to worry about their work, their duties for a while at home. Then very peaceful, because they never do any of their work at home. Then they think, oh, I got equanimity already, very peaceful. Then once they go back home, everything lost, all the peace gone. So that's not the real equanimity. Or another more obvious example is, for example, somebody maybe fainted right in front of you. Then you bo chap lah, you don't care lah. I want to maintain peaceful mind, so I don't care. So we call this callousness. So a person who is restless, no equanimity, then we become, oh, a person fainted, then they get shocked, then they jump around and do not know what to do. So that is one extreme, restlessness. A person with equanimity and with compassion will be able to attend to help this person. Help this person. Even though they may not know what to do, they don't know CPR, they don't know first aid, but at least they try to look around, see what's the situation, try to help. So this is having equanimity. That means you still do your duties and tasks, but not so shaken. So that's the real equanimity. All right, so hopefully that clears up. Any questions at the moment? Okay, so today in theory, we cover until here because very long. So the next sutta we cover in the next session. Okay, any questions from the ground here or on the Zoom? No questions? Yes, one at the back. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So once you finish the sentence, then you move on to the next patch of hair. Because if you stay too long, there's a high tendency to daydream. That means the mind will come a lot of drama show. Then you think of which hair salon you go, what kind of shampoo you use. Then become like that already. So we try to avoid that. So as long as we quickly move on, there's an intentional generation of formation. So you prevent autopilot. Lor. Mm. Mm. Yeah, so initially it's like that, but that's the intentional portion. Yeah. Yes, one question. Previous slide. Okay. Oh, it's not working. Okay, this one. Okay. That doesn't necessarily have to be concentration, but at least habitually they have this state of loving kindness. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Yeah, correct. I would say probably at the younger days, they probably didn't invest in the spiritual development of the mind. So there's no resilience, no mental resilience. So any a bit of pain, any discomfort, then will be just being upset and grumpy lah. Okay, yes, yeah, yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, correct. Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, yeah. So this is a very good point. So I think we have to keep coming back to the drawing board and look through if there's a problem and how much can you do to solve the problem. No, we are not politicians. We can't go and change certain things. Even our own politicians have limits to say certain things. We're a small country. There are certain big countries involved. No, there's certain limit we can do. So we just do our best, then that's it lah. Yeah, we just do our best lor. So if you keep on worrying, if let's say the problem keeps surfacing, and you keep on worrying and worrying and worrying, then our heart will pizza to 1,000 pieces lah. Same thing like if you can worry about hell, you look at Hoppa Villa picture hell, yeah, suffering, suffering, yeah, suffering. Then that's the nature. It's somehow it's like that one lah. Mm. Mm. Okay. Mm. Okay. Yeah. Then you must intentionally change the algorithm lah. look at some other more wholesome or positive posting. So this algorithm thing is like our mind. Lor. So if our habitual thoughts, we just entertain a few unwholesome things, then the algorithm will come out on the unwholesome thought all the time. Yeah, so that's why we do this practice to make the mind more wholesome. Okay, good point. Next, any questions? Okay, if not, we go for a short break, maybe 5 minutes or so. Then we do stretching so that you won't complain pain after sitting. Comfortable sitting posture. Those who want to upgrade to the chairs, we have some benches and chairs at the back. In the back there, can upgrade. Okay, if you found your comfortable posture, then you make sure you're seated upright and the rest of the body relaxed. So for our routine, the loving kindness, we are not going to visualize anything. So we are going to use this, we call non-discrimination approach. So we start to feel the 4 elements. So what are these 4 elements? The elements of earth, fire, wind, and water. So earth represents any hard or soft sensations, any tension, any hardness. Right? So that's the earth element. Fire element represents any heat, hot or cold sensations. So that's the fire element. Wind element represents any kind of movement. Can be your breathing movement, can be the heartbeat movement, whatever, any kind of movement. So that's the wind element. And the water element represents any moist or dry sensations. So we call them the 4 element sensations. So the idea of this practice is not to control the elements. We are not doing any air bending or anything. Is to learn to make peace with the 4 elements. So we let them appear naturally by themselves. Don't have to purposely generate them. And when they appear, it's a bit like customer service. Then we greet them, we wish them well and happy. So what happens if you do not intentionally wish them well and happy? When the sensation appear, if they feel very shocked, then the mind will tend to cling on to them. You have craving, greed. And if it's unpleasant, very painful, then the mind will have aversion. We'll try to fight them, try to resist and struggle. So we are learning to make peace with whatever the universe throw at us. So when the sensations appear, we wish them well and happy. Then new sensation appear again, wish them well and happy. And don't have to write down, it's recorded online also. So the more we keep on wishing the elements well and happy, we are reducing the aversion bit by bit. And you can check the state of mind. Is it getting calmer or getting more agitated? If it gets calmer, means you are on the right track. And then you see how far can the mind settle down. Okay, there should be like a certain limit or maximum limit to this calming process. So if you find that the mind is quite settled down or the rate of settling is very negligible, then we call this your neutral baseline emotion. So this one, no concentration yet. Huh? So wishing oneself well and happy, this is like the maximum limit as far it can go. So we remember this state of mind or remember this emotion for comparison, for your own reference. And once we have taken note of this neutral state, we are going to cultivate a more noble kind of loving kindness. So we are going to wish, may all beings in all directions be well and happy, above, below, and all across, all directions. May all beings be well and happy. So you let the mind extend naturally by itself. Don't have to push or exert. However far it wishes to extend doesn't matter. And in that widened area of attention, we are going to perceive all beings as the four elements. Don't have to visualize, or rather try not to visualize. So whatever sensation appear, we are going to wish, may all beings be well and happy. So if we start to visualize, there's a high tendency for certain biasness. If certain creature look very scary, then we have certain biasness and emotion. If certain creature look very cute, then again different emotion. So temporary, just put that aside. Treat all beings as the four elements, lowest common denominator. So the same ingredient, the right effort. Anytime a new sensation appear, doesn't matter if it's inside the body or outside the body. Once you detect something, and can wish, may all beings be well and happy. So make sure you can hear yourself in the mind. May all beings be well and happy. It's like reciting a mantra. And the element sensation is the accompaniment. So the example I give is like, the Mahayana chanting. They hit the wooden fish, the mu yu. So the sensation is like a tempo. You can chant in the mind, may all beings be well and happy. Okay, if the conditions are right, you have the right thought, right effort, and everything, keep on wishing, may all beings be well and happy. Then it will trigger this right concentration. So usually, loving kindness may lead one to the first level of concentration. So the indicator would be some increment of joy and happiness compared to the neutral baseline emotion from earlier. So if it's slightly more joyful and more peaceful, then that's the kind of indicator. And regardless of what you experience, keep on wishing, may all beings be well and happy. Keep turning the Dhamma wheel. Treat everything else as passing distraction. So no matter how peaceful it is, or how pleasant, we just treat them as a passing scenery. Like you travel along a path, a lot of trees, a lot of signboard. You don't go and hug the tree, continue the path. Keep on wishing, may all beings be well and happy. Still not yet the final destination. Okay, then we take note of this emotion or this state of mind of loving kindness. So this is still the samatha phase. And then we move on to compassion. So in the second sublime state, compassion, we are going to wish, may all beings be free from suffering. So using the lowest common denominator, the four elements, don't have to imagine or worry or anything. Huh? So any sensation appeared, and use this mantra, may all beings be free from suffering. So in conventional setting, the conventional kind of compassion, we need to worry for people, need to plan how to help this person, is this person okay? That one good for solving external problem, but very draining. So now we learn to solve the internal problem. So no imagination, just come back to the four element sensations. Keep on wishing, may all beings be free from suffering. Learn to recharge the mind. Okay, and if the conditions are right, you keep on wishing, may all beings be free from suffering. Then this compassion may lead one to the second level of concentration. So the indicator would be this joy will appear clearer than the previous one. So the mind appear like clearer, so that joy and happiness appear more distinct than loving kindness. So the conventional compassion would be very sorrowful, very sad. So the concentrative kind of compassion would be more joyful. So you normally see the depiction of Kuan Yin or the Buddha smiling. You don't see them pulling a long face. And regardless of what you experience, keep on wishing, may all beings be free from suffering. And once you've taken note of this state of mind or this emotion, then we move on to the third sublime state, which is appreciative joy. And we are going to rejoice in the achievements or the accomplishments of all beings. So same using the non-discrimination approach. Every moment, every second, all beings will gain a new experience. So we can rejoice in that gain, the moment-to-moment kind of gain. So anytime a sensation appears, then the mantra will be rejoice with all beings. So this one don't have to wait until somebody strike 4D or get promotion then rejoice. Every moment can rejoice with all beings. Okay, and if the conditions are right, you keep on rejoicing with all beings, then this appreciative joy may lead one to the third level of concentration, denoted by the emotion of happiness. So this time is a different pleasant emotion from the previous two. So this one only has happiness and no joy. And regardless of what you experience, keep on rejoicing with all beings. Treat everything else as a passing distraction. Okay, then we remember this state of mind, and then we move on to the fourth sublime state, which is equanimity. And in this reflection, we're going to use karma. Yeah? All beings are subject to karma. We reap what we sow. So in this routine, there's no need to imagine or speculate. In the past, I might have done this or that. So no storytelling again, no imagination. So everything we use is real-time evidence. So whatever sensation that appear now is actually old karmas ripening. It needs to have a past cause, but we do not need to know the story behind the past cause. And we just need to acknowledge karmas ripening. So if a pleasant sensation appear, then that's generally good karmas ripening. If an unpleasant sensation appear, then that's bad karmas ripening. And if a neutral sensation appear, then that's neutral karmas ripening. So in short, any sensation appear, we just label or recite karmas ripening. Okay, if the mind is more accepting of karma, we keep on reciting karmas ripening, then the conditions are right, then it may lead one to the fourth level of concentration. So if you experience like a neutral emotion but very refreshing or alert kind of experience, then we call it equanimity. So there's no more joy, no more happiness. So the practice of equanimity will lead to equanimity. And regardless of what you experience, keep on reciting karmas ripening. Okay, and now we're going to add some wisdom to this practice, some insight, and we're going to cultivate a more detached state of mind, how to detach ourselves from these karmas, not get affected by karmas, or not get into so much suffering. And we think of impermanence. So now we change the mantra to rising and passing. So any sensation appear, we just recite rising and passing. At the point of detachment, there should be like a short surge of joy appearing. So this is the insight of vipassana kind of joy, not the jhanic concentration kind of joy. And regardless of what you experience, just recite rising and passing. Okay, and due to time constraint, before we conclude the session, same gentle reminder in all activities, whether we are standing, sitting, walking, or lying down, we can be mindful of impermanence or mindful of the sublime states. And with that, we can gently open our eyes, formally end the session, but informally keep on generating right thought. Okay, then you can stretch your legs and wish your legs free from suffering. Okay, so at the meantime, anyone has any problems or questions? Who totally cannot follow one? Who is lost? You never follow, ma. Okay, so the rest, no, yes. Hmm. Up to you. I introduce you different meditation objects, then it's up to you to mix and match lot custom. Yeah? Different situation, you can use different tools. So all these are like different tools. So different problem might require different tools. Okay. Okay, yes, online question.
Hi, sister. You have a question? Eileen, you have a question, Eileen?
Hello. Hi. Hi. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Good evening, Bante. Hey, Bante, I have a question. How can we see the compassion consciousness in our meditation compared to the convention compassion? Because compassion normally will give way to our painful state, compared to in meditation. How would it be? How do we feel in our sensation?
Yeah, so the normal or the conventional kind of compassion as we know it is
Yes.
empathy and very
Yes.
close to what we talked about the chart earlier towards
Uh-huh.
passionate grief. Yeah, so that's why I feel sad and sorrow, which is
Yes.
actually what we are
Yes.
practicing to overcome sorrow, lamentation, and pain. But if we
Uh-huh.
practice compassion until full of sorrow, then it's actually
Yes.
practicing suffering.
Okay.
Uh,
So in our meditation, when we in the sublime state of the compassion consciousness, So we shouldn't be in that kind of sensation as compared to the convention one, right?
Yeah, that's right. It shouldn't be clinging to a sad situation.
Oh, then how do we feel it, the sensation? That means we recognize there is a suffering.
Yeah, so that's why in our routine we do not imagine any stories. So we just
Uh-huh.
feel the sensation, and then we generate
Uh-huh.
the thought. May all beings be free from suffering.
So we just feel it we just identify there is a suffering.
We wish may all beings be free
Or
from
wishing all the beings
yes,
well and happy lah. We all
free
be
from
well and
suffering.
happy. Free from suffering. Yeah. Okay, understand. Okay, thank you, Banti.
Okay, no problem. You can jump to any sublime state you want. Yeah, you can use equanimity first, or you can use compassion first. Yeah, we'll talk more about that in the fourth lesson. Yeah. Okay. Yes, the back. Yep, yep. That you can perceive it as the heat element, fire element. Yep. Yeah, whichever sensation is obvious to you. Yep. Mm. Yep. Yep. Okay, anyone else? If not, yeah, then we maintain this, your homework, we maintain this state of mind or try to practice as much as possible. Then see you all next week. Okay, then pay respects to the Buddha.